they made the major motion picture, but before that, obviously, was the actual Titanic, which was just heartrending, and people dealt with that in incredibly diverse
Again,
ways.
today's top stories. London has endured another night of German bombing. Most damage was concentrated in the East End. The RAF has struck enemy aerodromes in Le Havre and the Low Countries. In Russia, further German losses are reported around Leningrad. In Asia, the American fortress at Corregidor is still defiant, but Japanese forces are reported nearing the Burmese oil fields. And that concludes the news summary. We now return you to our music program.
It was heartbreaking. It was supposed to be the new Vacation. Oh my goodness, okay. Let's turn that off. That's jarring. So this is the old 90s interface. And they really just embrace that. Trying to stick with the 40s feel, the war feel. The extraordinarily rich went on the Titanic.
See here, this isn't about your dedication. Pringle certainly attests to your loyalty. No, your dismissal stems from the Titanic mission. That failure can no longer be ignored, especially now. I am sorry, but someone must shoulder the blame. The service, you understand. We can't be held responsible.
So there weren't enough lifeboats, there was a failure in the engine room, there was a failure where people were not properly keeping watch, and they died. Just these names, incredibly important people. The Hindenburg went up in 1937. Same thing, where they were just trying to find some way to travel that was leisure. Eventually we did get cruise ships, but the Titanic was a tragedy that no one ever forgot. His Majesty Government regrets to inform you that your services in the office has apparently we were part of Her Majesty's, or His Majesty at the time. His Majesty's Secret Service. My memoriam here, London, he's watching you. I appear to have entered some sort of rebellion. It has something to do with my days in the Titanic.
The past, forever locked in regret. But what if the past could be changed?
You can change something? I love that. I love how people's different takes. Obviously, the more scientific, the better. But on how
30 years have come and gone since the night that saw the end of a world, my world. The service needed someone on the Titanic. They chose me. I was to wait for a signal from my contact, so I remained in my cabin. I left only once. Georgia was on board. And that's when it came. There'd be no second chance. It was Sunday, April 14th. Too late, you see, for the Titanic, for me. What if I'd met with my contact, prevented disaster? What if the past could be changed? What then?
We're going to try and undo events, every event apparently. That's kind of the problem with major loss, is the ripples that affect the way that people interact, cause the actual world to change indelibly? You literally just can't do anything about it. It's not like you could go back and change one thing, because it wouldn't have one effect anymore. Society rules everything. There's no such thing as isolated change, you know? There's a very mixed feeling to this. Anyway, please stop. If I hit OK, will it make it go away? Enough! Enough with the water. I get that you have running water. Sir, I'm busy looting. Do you mind? Hors d'oeuvres. Oysters, consomme, over cream, barley, salmon, muslin, sauce, cucumber, filet mignon. God, that looks amazing.
Good evening. I am
Hi.
Smethels, your steward. And
Hi,
if I may
Smethers.
say so, it is good to see you up and about. You've been in your cabin the whole voyage. A touch of the mal de mer, was it?
How do you know? Yes.
Seasickness can be quite unpleasant, especially if it's one's first crossing. Since you haven't been out of your cabin, may I instruct you on how to get assistance while on board the Titanic?
Sure.
Very good. We of the White Star Line hope that your stay on board Titanic is as relaxing as possible. As you explore the ship, please bear in mind the following advice. The mouse is your hands, the keys your feet. If you find the screen too dark or too bright, follow the directions on the control screen help panel or consult your manual on adjusting your monitor. To find the control panel help and other features, click on the life preserver at the bottom of the screen. The control panel has a help button, as well as a quit and save game feature. You may also adjust the volume. Test the settings by clicking on the black knob. You may also switch the theme music on or off. After making any adjustments, click OK to return to your current game. Wandering the ship, if you notice a hand, it indicates something to click on. May I suggest you do so? Several personal items in your room, a brown satchel, and a pocket watch are quite useful to you during your voyage.
This chick already got
Take them
these,
with you.
son.
You shall want to converse with other passengers. If you fail to understand them, click on their face.
Talk to people.
They will repeat their last sentence. The
On her
purser.
face.
His office is on C deck, just off the forward grand stairs. The elevator, or lift as we call it, has an attendant who can direct you to various sections of the lifts are located behind the forward grand staircase. Lastly, you may always find me by returning to your cabin, C73, and ringing the bell to the right of the door. Your correspondence. 2,200 on board, and they all want messages delivered promptly. Even if it is 1912, and the Titanic, the most advanced means of sea conveyance ever devised, I still have only 2 hands.
Wow. So they lost.
2,200 on board, and they all want messages delivered.
Okay.
Here, a map of the ship for you.
Well,
Compliments of the White Star Line. I have taken the liberty of indicating your cabin, C73. Of course, on a Sunday evening at this hour, there won't be many people out. Will there be anything else?
Naturally. Well,
A young lady. A most insistent young lady.
What is an electric
The
camel?
electric camel, an exercise device. They say it is good for the liver. I wouldn't know. It's located in the gymnasium, on the boat deck, on the starboard side.
Just like a mechanical
That's
pole.
the right side, in case you had not been informed.
What's the left side called? There are other terms I should know. I'm good.
Very good.
Supports,
Have you
we're going.
unpacked? You'll find your trunk key
I've
in your
been
bag
unpacking
on
all
the
day,
bed.
son.
If you
So we're gonna
require
unpack
additional
some more right
assistance,
here.
please ring the bell by the door. Good night.
Good night, senor. Look at this plush and I just want to go in there. It's glorious. Thank you, sir. You are here. For those of you stupid enough to get lost at the mall, you are here, and we are going to the Grand Camel. And I listened. I did. I listened to the directions, and it's on this side of the boat. Did we listen whether it was forward or aft? No, we didn't. And see all the docks? in any of these. My crew likes to hang out here, where they have a very special rotary room. G-Deck for the G's. Steward's quarters. Got a lot of quarters. Dining salon, probably not. Somewhere in here. Maybe there's a forecastle. Somebody told me there wasn't. You know, don't name any names. Somebody told me there was no such thing as a forecastle. I do not know where the workout rooms are. I don't even know what they're called. There it is, gymnasium. So we're gonna go all the way up to the boat deck. We're gonna meet with this mysterious PP. Can't say that with mysterious. I'm gonna end you, son. Do I click on this? Oh, that's what I did. Amazing. Click the red areas and then that's up there. Alright. There you go. I'm, you know, at my top speed I am a 9.0 because I did play tennis adroitly. Click on your face. No? To the boat deck. This is an odd navigational. It was tough back in the day. PP, I presume.
Glory be. It's about time. You're late. Another 5 minutes and I'd have cancelled your mission.
You must be the one who sent me the card.
Yes, I'm Pringle. Penny Pringle. From the Bureau of Secret Service. You didn't think they'd plunk you down on this bucket of bolts and millionaires alone, did you?
I know. I mean, I get along well with people. I'm a people person. Sorry for being late. What did you
Look
want to
at
tell me?
this. A German colonel named Zeitel. He's inspecting their embassies in Havana, Washington, and Mexico City.
Havana,
We know better.
Half of my heart is in Havana, no, no, no.
10 days ago, the Bureau got word that Zeitel has in his possession a priceless copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, stolen 2 months ago in Paris after its purchase by a very highly placed member of His Majesty's government.
Rubaiyat. You're gonna have to write that down for me.
The Rubaiyat's a book, a collection of medieval Persian poetry, a passion of his lordship's.
That shit's nasty.
Poetry. Persians. The German High Command must think it's important enough to have their top man smuggle the lot on board.
Probably has some sort of a pattern in it that they use for trade.
It's your job to find out. His lordship's watching this very
right here.
closely. Very closely indeed.
Is this Spanish?
I wouldn't fumble this chance either, unless you fancy spending the rest of your career in some grotty Midlands back office shuffling paper about.
I mean, that's kind of what I do, like, IRL, so...
No, he's with a protégé. Name of Heidelitz, I
Protégé?
believe. The two spend a great deal of time in the Café Parisien, nibbling pastry. Get into the wireless room. I don't know or care how. Officer Morrow wouldn't let
Can
me
I try
in.
the electric camera?
See if Zeitel's received or sent any telegrams about the Rubai. You've got a cryptograph in your trunk. It'll unscramble the German codes. You use the brains God gave you. Watch people.
I don't
Listen
have brains.
when you find the
I'm a
Rubaiyat.
woman.
Knock on my door.
Which cabin
Cabin
are you in?
F, 34. Use the second
Can I
class
stay
stairs.
there?
You
I
should
like
be set.
Germans.
Remember, this is your big chance.
I dislike
Don't
Germans.
fail.
I got kicked off, son. Look at me go. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here. If you do want to play along, apparently this is a true to life representation of the Titanic where you are able to adventure.
Sorry,
Really
this section's
interesting.
off limit. Passengers aren't allowed on the
really
Officer Morrow's
moving,
in no mood
so-
to accommodate passengers right now. He's misplaced his binoculars, and he's in a right proper state about it. Off with you now.
It was, you know, obviously meant to allow you that sort of emotional exploration. So if you did even just love the movie, total recommend. Great blast from the past. So hopefully this is a win for you guys. Link in the description below if you do want to check it out for yourself. It's an interesting adventure. Done much in similar style to the Sherlock Holmes, etc., except it's first person. A little bit more open world. You can obviously travel around and so on. Or you can fast travel from map to map. So I'm at Ginger. This is what to play next. Link in the the description below. Also down there is Gamer Grind, Gamer Coffee, Ship True Door. You can support the channel by supporting the Pirate King logo, and that way your friends will all look for what to play next here. Liking, subscribing, commenting, that is always free, so definitely hit that up. Hit the bell. 6 days out of 7, we're just trying to show you like what went on with gaming, where it's going. We love talking about it. So we're always on the lookout for that sort of game that has a developing game mechanic. It couldn't be more obvious that this is working on adventures navigationals rather than polygonals. So that's really interesting how it developed the storyline using that, how they had to use a map, that sort of thing. So really cool there. Fast travel even made its way into RPGs. So you would jump from place to place, but the storyline would continue. So definitely head up to that bell. On the 7th day we do something really graphically interesting and just like following storyline. Right now we're doing Skyrim, Lara Croft origin story. That's really cool. Also down there, all my social media links. So hit me up. Buy this chicken coffee, $1 at KOF5, or you can hit me up on Facebook, Twitter. We love hearing from you. We love that you're always along for the ride. Stay safe. Game on. We'll see you